The burningsun case in South Korea, which came to light over 4 years ago, sent shockwaves through the K-pop industry, as well as shook the country. It began as a scandal involving popular K-pop artists such as Seungri of boy band Big Bang and others. But then, it turned into something more complex and far worse. It exposed a web of illegal activities, corruption, and abuse of power involving figures in the entertainment industry and police. Today, we will take a closer look at the wide-ranging case. Here is the burningsun case. On January 28, 2019, local broadcaster MBC reported on its primetime news desk program about an assault case at a club in the posh Seoul district of Gangnam 2 months prior. The report said Kim Sang-gyo, a man in his late 20s, visited the burningsun club in Yeoksamdong for a party in November and was beaten up by his staff and security personnel. He had apparently seen a girl slumped over as if she was in trouble and told staff. Instead of getting help, he was reportedly dragged outside, pushed around, punched and kicked by staff members and bouncers. Kim called the police and reported this incident. But when authorities arrived, he was dismayed as they handcuffed him as if he was the assailant without even looking into exactly what happened. Kim said police didn't even listen to what he had to say and even hit him in the process of his arrest and at the station he was taken to. Police denied these claims at the time, but this report and others that followed that week showed that excessive force was used on Kim by police when he was apprehended, according to black box and CCTV footage. Immediately after the report, Kim posted another CCTV video to an online community showing a woman who appeared stoned being dragged by her hair into a VIP room by a man who seemed to be a security guard. Trying to grab the laptop and desk on the way, she appeared to be desperately seeking help from the staff, but was ignored. From then on, women began sharing their horrific experiences in that club. And this was just the beginning of the case. News desk began covering tip-offs they received weeks before, as well as accusations after the first report about burningsun. They were all from women and all very similar. One of the women claimed that she was raped by a man from Thailand who she met at the club. She said she remembers drinking whiskey that the man had given her, and then the next thing she recalled was waking up in a strange hotel room with a Thai man. She said she was overpowered and begged him to let her go. She then reported the incident to the police. She told authorities she suspected that she was drugged, as she only drank a few glasses of whiskey and her alcohol tolerance is usually high. Another woman said she voluntarily went to the home of a club staff member after partying the previous summer and drank beer before falling asleep. She said when she woke up, she was being raped and then somehow lost consciousness again. She said there was another male staff member next to her and not the man she had left the club with. In the next several weeks, more women came forward, saying they had similar experiences at burningsun and other clubs in the area. There were suspicions that these women were drugged with GHB, used as a date rape drug. But it was hard to prove, as GHB is known to leave the body quickly, meaning it wouldn't be detected in a drug test hours after it's consumed. Some women even said they were forced to take selfies with the men they claimed to have raped them to make the sex look consensual. The claims by these women, most of whom likely went to the club for a girls' night out and to have innocent fun, were appalling and horrendous. A former VIP guest also shared his experience with the press, saying he received a message from club staff, one saying women who had taken GHB were waiting for him and to hurry up and come to burningsun. He said he received a picture of the girl's naked body with the messages. He said he had received such messages with photos and even videos, apparently taken without consent on multiple occasions. He said club staff did not hesitate to tell him the women were drugged with GHB. Club staff sending potential customers messages is not an uncommon practice in South Korea. Oftentimes, both men and women receive text messages from promoters and marketing directors at clubs on Thursday, ahead of the weekend. Then, a security guard who worked at burningsun for 3 months came forward and said he often witnessed VIP guests stumbling as if they were high on drugs. Another former guard backed up the claims, saying multiple guests crammed into a restroom for the disabled at the hotel adjacent to the club and came out staggering as if they weren't all there. They said so-called MDs, supposedly marketing directors of the club, provided drugs to foreign guests. This prompted the Seoul Metropolitan Police Agency to widen their investigation into the club, where there had already been allegations of assault, rape, and other crimes. All of the shocking allegations made headlines across the country and around the world. Nearly 3 weeks after MBC first reported on the club, police raided it to look into these alleged crimes as well as search the Yeoksam station of the Gangnam police to see whether there was any collusion between local authorities and burningsun. Kim Sang-gyo, who we mentioned at the start of today's episode, was taken to this station after he was assaulted by club personnel. And a woman named Anna, who was known to be an MD at the club, was investigated for drug distribution to foreign guests. At her home, police discovered a large amount of white powder that appeared to be drugs. She was eventually detained, the first such person to be jailed in the case. The club CEOs Lee Moon-ho and Lee Sung-hyun were also investigated. Following the club's alleged involvement in prostitution, drug trafficking, and police corruption, the burningsun Club closed its doors on February 17, 2019. Then police brought up the possibility of looking into Seungri of K-pop boy band Big Bang. Seungri was one of 7 in-house directors before he resigned in January 2019. He was known to be the Great Gatsby of South Korea as he threw lavish parties. But he denied being involved in club operations and said he was rarely at the establishment. Throughout all this, Lee Moon-ho, the CEO of burningsun, continued to deny any drug usage or distribution at his club. He underwent 3 rounds of questioning, and during that time, police obtained a strand of his hair and tested it for drugs. And lo and behold, the test came back positive. Soon after this, Seungri was questioned for other allegations. On February 26, SBS reported on suspicions that Seungri arranged prostitution services for foreign investors in December 2015. And all this was discussed in a mobile messaging app's chat room with other celebrities. On December 6, 2015, Seungri made inappropriate remarks in this chat room that alluded to recruiting women for prostitution while talking to people associated with a company named Yuri Holdings, a shareholder of burningsun Entertainment that operated the club. Seungri was also the co-founder of this company. He ordered a man surnamed Kim to bring girls to the arena VIP room for a group of foreign investors. He told Kim to bring whores who would easily follow these men to their hotel rooms. Kim then said he sent 2 men to the hotel, and they were waiting for the girls. The pop star's agency, YG Entertainment, refuted the claim, saying that the chat room conversation was fabricated. The company said it would take legal action against media outlets disseminating fake news. However, it was later confirmed by the Anti-Corruption and Civil Rights Commission that the chatroom conversation was not faked. Seungri apologized for causing concern, said that he would fully cooperate with investigators, and said he would even take a drug test in relation to burningsun. He soon became the public face of the scandal, as he was a high-profile celebrity, as well as because there were so many allegations tied to the club. After he was interrogated, he canceled all concerts as he was on a global tour at the time. A few weeks later, Seungri was booked on charges of supplying prostitutes. SBS then reported that 2 other singers were in that chat room that Seungri was in to bribe foreign investors with prostitutes. And these prostitutes, some of them allegedly engaged in sexual acts on their own free will, while others, some of them underage women, and others runaways, did so after being given empty promises for a better life. On the same day, SBS reported on its evening news show that singer Chung Jun-young, who was also in a group chat with Seungri, shared sex videos he had taken without consent with others. 10 women were said to be victims of the filming. Then there were a series of events that helped move the investigation along. Seungri announced his retirement from the entertainment industry via an Instagram post, and then Chung Jun-young was booked on charges of illegal hidden camera filming. Chung apologized in a letter and admitted to all his crimes. Both singers' contracts were terminated by their respective agencies. There were immediately a few celebrities affected by the exposed chat room, and more followed as the case unfolded. On March 14th, Young Jun-young of Highlight and Choi Jong-un of FT Island left the band after allegations they were participants in the chat rooms, and the agency for Lee Jong-hyun of CN Blue admitted his involvement on March 15th. Then, the head of the Korean National Police Agency said an internal investigation would be conducted into police corruption, as questioning into both Seungri and Chung revealed there were efforts to cover up their wrongdoings. And this uncovered deep-rooted corruption within the Gangnam police. There were cover-ups related to celebrities such as getting rid of drunk driving records, turning a blind eye to what went on at burningsun, and destroying evidence. It also revealed a secret relationship between the police and the club, with the police often having to get permission from the club before deciding to be dispatched there when a customer reported an incident. This made the burningsun case go to the highest authority of the country, with then-President Moon Jae-in ordering a thorough probe into the matter. It is worth noting that while several police officers were disciplined for their actions at burningsun, the 2 most high-profile cases were acquitted at trial. burningsun's co-CEO Lee Seung-hyun testified that he had bribed former police officer Kang, but Kang's 1-year prison sentence was overturned due to lack of evidence. Also, senior police official Yoon Kyu-gun was arrested for allegations of bribery and mediating favors for the burningsun club and others, but was later found innocent. In the end, Chung Jun-young was sentenced to 6 years in prison, but that was reduced to 5 years later on charges of gang raping drunk and unconscious women, as well as secretly filming them and sharing the footage with others without their consent. Seungri, meanwhile, was handed down a 3-year term and a fine on 9 charges. They included prostitution mediation and embezzlement. His sentence was later reduced by half. He was released this past February. Among other verdicts, burningsun's co-CEO Lee Moon-ho was sentenced to a year in prison for habitual drug use. Yoo In-seok, Seungri's business partner, was sentenced to 3 years probation after admitting to providing prostitutes to potential Japanese investors. Known as the burningsun Gate, it was found that the case was linked to a wide array of other crimes, including tax evasion, drug-related offenses, and many more. This opened up a Pandora's box of criminal activity that had been hidden away for years, and the ensuing investigations have resulted in more arrests and convictions. This is why the case is too complex and has too many layers to it. Yet, despite the fact that some high-profile cases involved the police were acquitted, and media outlets claim that the K-pop stars were used only to cover up for powerful people behind, there was some significant progress made. This case got rid of the illusion that celebrities are invincible and highlighted that they too could be punished for being involved in criminal activities. It also empowered more victims to come forward and provided them with the courage to share their experiences. The problem is that there were likely countless other victims who didn't come forward, possibly because they were either too scared or too shameful to have been involved in such situations. But while parts of the case were shocking, Seungri's efforts to find women for potential investors are not unusual in South Korea. Cultivating business ties or accommodating business associates has long involved exorbitantly priced drinking sessions that can involve sexual services for additional fees. While buying and selling sex is illegal in the country, the government has not been able to root out this practice. And so, this is still a problem in our society here, in any society for that matter. And efforts need to be made to not forget about these scandals to protect those we love. A few good things that did come out from the cases are that they prompted investigations into other clubs and nightlife establishments. A number of drug sweeps at entertainment venues were conducted as a result of the scandal, which resulted in hundreds of drug-related arrests, along with cases of sexual assault and the filming of illegal videos during drug use. It also made the issue of spy cams or hidden cameras come back into the spotlight, as a year before the case broke, tens of thousands of women took to the streets of Seoul to protest illegal filming. This led the government to enact reforms, and fortunately, the case did not tarnish K-pop and its popularity here in Korea and around the world, with many loyal fans still sticking by the artists they love. While the general public has seemed to have forgotten about the case, the victims have to live with what they went through for the rest of their lives. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.